When I was a kid, I used to think that pork chops and karate chops were the same thing. I thought that they were both pork chops, and because my grandmother thought it was cute, and because they were my favorite, she let me keep doing it. Not really a big deal. One day, before I realized fat kids are not designed to climb trees, I fell out of a tree, bruised the right side of my body. I didn't want to tell my grandmother where I'd been because I was afraid of getting in trouble for being somewhere that I shouldn't have. A few days later, the gym teacher noticed the bruise and I was sent to the principal's office. And from there, I was sent to another small room with a real nice lady who asked me all kinds of questions about my life at home. I saw no reason to lie. As far as I was concerned, life was pretty good. I told her, whenever I'm sad, my grandmother gives me karate chops. This led to a full-scale investigation, and I was removed from the home for 3 days until I finally decided to ask where I got the bruises. News of this silly little story quickly spread through the school, and I earned my first nickname, Pork Chop. We blame society, yet we tend to forget that every one of us makes up society. Nearly 3.2 million people are bullied per year, and 17% of them are shown to react negatively to the circumstance. Everyone has been made to feel second best at one point in their life or another. The way that someone handles that or grows out of it is a way that will define the rest of their life. In this piece, the author shows the profound effect that bullying can have on an individual. To This Day, by Shane Koisen. I'm not the only kid who grew up this way, surrounded by people that used to say that rhyme about sticks and stones, as if broken bones hurt worse than the names that we got called, and we got called them all. So we grew up believing no one would ever fall in love with us, that we'd never meet someone to make us feel like the sun was something they built for us in their tool shed. So broken heartstrings bled the blows as we tried to empty ourselves so we would feel nothing. Don't tell me that hurts less than a broken bone, that an ingrown life is something surgeons can just cut away, that there's no way for it to metastasize. It does. She was 8 years old. Our first day of grade 3 when she got called ugly. We both got moved to the back of the class so we'd stop getting bombarded by spitballs, but the school halls were a battleground where we found ourselves outnumbered day after wretched day. We used to stay inside for recess because outside was worse. Outside we'd have to rehearse running away or stay still like statues, giving no clues that we were there. In grade 5, they taped a sign to her desk that read, "Beware of dog." To this day, despite a loving husband, she doesn't think that she's beautiful because of a birthmark that takes up a little less than half her face. Kids say she looked like a wrong answer that someone tried to erase but couldn't quite get the job done. They'll never understand that she's raising 2 kids whose definition of beauty begins with the word mom. Because they see your heart before they see your skin. Because she's only ever always been amazing. He was a broken branch, grafted into a different family tree. Adopted, not because his parents opted for a different destiny. He was 3 when he became a mixed drink of 1 part left alone, 2 parts tragedy. Started therapy in 8th grade, had a personality made up of tests and pills, lived like the uphills were mountains, the downhills were cliffs, 4/5 suicidal, and an adolescence of being called pauper. 1 part because of the pills, 99 parts because of the cruelty. He tried to kill himself in grade 10 when a kid who could still go home to mom and dad had the audacity to tell him, "Get over it." As if depression can be remedied by any of the contents found in a first aid kit. To this day, he is a TNT lit from both ends, could describe to you in detail the way the sky bends right before it's about to fall. And despite an army of friends who will call him an inspiration, he remains a conversation piece for people who can't understand that sometimes being drug-free has less to do with addiction and more to do with sanity. We weren't the only kids who grew up this way. To this day, kids are still being called names. The classics were, hey stupid, hey spaz. Seems like each school has an arsenal of names getting updated every year. But I want to tell them that all of this is just debris. Left over from when we finally decided to smash the things we thought we used to be. And if you can't see anything beautiful about yourself, get a better mirror. Look a little closer. Stare a little longer, because there's something inside you that made you keep trying despite everyone who told you to quit. You have to believe that they were wrong. Because maybe you didn't belong to a group or a clique. Maybe they used to pick you last for basketball or everything. Maybe you used to bring bruises and broken teeth to show and tell, but never told, because how can you hold your ground if everyone around you wants to bury you beneath it? You have to believe that they were wrong. They have to be wrong. Why else would we still be here? We grew up learning to cheer the underdog because we see ourselves in them. We stem from a root planted in the belief that we are not what we are called. We are not abandoned cars sitting stalled out empty on a highway. And if in some way we are, don't worry. We only got out to walk and get gas. We are graduating members from the class of We Made It, not the faded echoes of voices crying out, words will never hurt me. Of course they did. But our lives will only ever always continue to be a balancing act. It has less to do with pain and more to do with beauty.